Good evening to our bright parents. It's another Friday night, and you know what's in store. It's another exciting episode of Bright Parenting, where we share tips on better parenting and better financial management. And tonight, our episode is about the 3 ways to make the most of your OFW experience. And we have very amazing guests for tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Green, who are both professional English teachers in Japan. So let me zoom that in and bring them closer. There. So they are here with us live tonight.
Hello. Thanks for having us, Jenny.
Yeah. I'm very excited. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, so am I. So May and Dennis, I understand that you are both newlyweds during the time of pandemic. So it's amazing, and how you met in Japan and how everything just orchestrated and fell into place. So would you like to greet some of our viewers, perhaps your parents? They're all tuning in tonight.
Are they?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look, I just want to say hi to my mom. I think she's probably watching, and my friends, if you guys are watching, and everybody who's tuning in tonight.
Oh, no, they're all watching. I don't think any of my people are watching.
No, I think your mom is watching.
If my mother is watching, thank you for
waking up. Yeah,
so
at
early.
5:30. Oh my goodness.
5:30?
Yeah. I think it's 5:30 there. Yeah.
All right. So how are you both there in Japan?
Yeah, we're doing okay. So far, even though there's like a state of emergency going on, but
I see.
Like-
from where we are, it's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Also, they'll declare a state of emergency at a drop of a hat. I think it was like 200 cases or something like that.
I think it's more.
Is it more?
Yeah, I think it's more.
Okay. But it's in localized cities. We're in a suburb. We're not in the rural area, but we're in the suburbs. So I'm not so worried.
We're okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So tonight, the first question that we have here is, what are your tips in building independence, May and Dennis?
Tips in building independence. I would say as an OFW, because I'd just like to talk about how I became an OFW.
And trivia, May and me are cousins.
Yeah.
We look alike.
Yes, so I'm very lucky to be the first cousin to be a guest in your show, Jenny. It really shows that I'm your favorite.
I love you, May.
Me too. So anyways, like for me, yeah. So like the state of our country, it's really hard, like especially now, but even before. If you are an English teacher in the Philippines, you really earn close to nothing. Like, let's be honest, you earn close to nothing. So it was really a huge decision on my part to really come here and, look for a better life. So, yeah, and then I became an OFW. So for me, building independence first, before you get to the country,
Mm-hmm.
you have to really manage your expectations. I really feel it's very important for you to sit down with your family and talk to them about, how much you're going to make, how much your expenses will be. And as soon as you get to the country that you're moving to, like this is a conversation that you have to keep on having, because you know how it is back home. Okay, like their idea of an OFW, like, oh, you have a lot of money, so you can just, like they depend on you for everything. So I think like you really need to have this conversation and really, tell them the reality of things. So that's my first tip. And my second.
How about you, Dennis? What's your tip on building independence? And was it a choice to pick Japan? Because Well, you are from Florida, and coming from a big nation, USA, you know, everybody dreams to get there, but you chose to fly out of there. So why Japan, and, you know, why you chose to teach?
I know, I left my subtropical paradise for cold Japan. No, yeah, it's hot. It's very hot here. Well, for me, yeah, it was a choice, obviously. For most, I would say Westerners, it's not. I shouldn't say it's not a hard choice, but it's not a hard choice. It's something that you do to differentiate yourself, or because you really want to do it.
Yeah.
So for me, this wasn't this very serious, solemn thing I had to do. It was I'm going to go now.
Yeah, that is how like every Filipino feels.
And many OFWs, they'll leave their family behind.
Exactly.
Children,
like
even,
it's a huge decision, because like we're very close knit, right? Like we're very close to our family, so leaving them is really hard.
But for me and my family was very proud of me. They were very excited for me. I didn't have to sit down with my family and tell them, like, this is how much money I'm gonna make. I had to sit down with my family and tell them, this is how much money I'm going to make. And they're like, what? We sent you to 4 years of college. You're going to choose that much money? So, yeah, but so it's a very different thing. I choose this because I love this. And honestly, the great news for OFWs, I would say specifically for OFWs, is that I chose this because I love this. That means that you're getting yourself into a situation that you can love too. You don't have to feel like this is a burden.
Yeah, no,
you don't have to feel like, oh, this is a meal ticket. This is something that you can come and you can love to do it. And so this isn't having to go to, you know, Dubai to be, you know, have your passport taken away. You know, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, what we have, actually, we're very lucky to be where we are. Yes, so yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. One thing also, well, one last thing for me is that you know, like once you get here, it really took some time for me to get used to it, but treat yourself from time to time and don't feel guilty about that. Because, you know, you're working really hard and sometimes you just forget about yourself.
Right.
And, you know, especially for me at the very start, when I first got here, it was always like, for example, if I go to a new restaurant or like a new place, I would always think about my mom and Ahi and would think like, oh, like they would want to be here. Like it would be so nice for them to experience this too. And there was like that sense of guilt. But in the, like, you know, as time went on, like I really realized like, no, I also need to take care of myself, and I deserve to enjoy and be happy, because I do.
For me, was it like something difficult for you to decide to move to Japan, or you really knew you wanted to go abroad?
Yeah. So for me, as you know, Jenny, you know this about me, and I think most of our family like really knows this about me, is that my heart was really set somewhere. I didn't know where it was back then, but I know it was just not the Philippines, unfortunately. So yeah, I really wanted to go somewhere, and then I was just very fortunate that this opportunity presented itself, and I took it. I just went for it.
Right. So you really took the leap, and congratulations, May. You know, you're happy, and of course you met the man of your dreams, but perhaps that's the next chapter where we segue to tips in finding love. And, you know, I'd like to flash again May and Dennis' photo. So as we move on in tips in finding love, so this, I understand, to the leftmost, upper left, is the first photo where which was posted on Facebook that, you're officially together. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first ever photo together, and it exploded, and people were just asking me about that.
It's a very nice photo.
It is.
Right. So, who will I start with? Dennis, because you are a gentleman. How did everything happen? What are your tips in finding love? Because, well, you both didn't expect it. And how did it happen?
my tips in finding love would actually, I'm very lucky.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm glad you think you're lucky.
I was just very, very persistent, and she finally broke down.
No.
So be persistent, but don't be creepy.
Be persistent. Okay.
Be persistent and don't be creepy. Always be friendly. I don't know.
But it helps that you're guapo.
You be handsome. Be very attractive. If you can be rich.
If you can be rich.
Yeah, if you can be rich.
That's your tip on love.
Yeah.
Oh,
finding love.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. May's very easy to get along with. Basically, we just pestered each other enough until she just was like, "Fine, I like you."
No, I like you. Oh, honey.
I know she liked me from the get-go, but she wouldn't admit it. And so basically, I just pestered her enough to the point where she was just like, "Fine, I like you." And now we're married.
I know. Good job. No,
exactly.
I honestly, I don't have very good tips. I don't think. But yeah, that's. You know.
Yeah, no. In my case, because
yes,
you know me, Jenny, like Dennis actually is my first ever everything, right, Jenny? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was my first boyfriend and everything, and my first husband.
She introduces me as that sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, this is Dennis, my first husband. No, because yeah, like right before, I remember a lot of our aunts were already concerned, and I think you too, or some of our cousins were already concerned, like, hala, si May, like, may wala pa jud kay boyfriend? And to me back then, like, I didn't care. Like, I really, that really was not a priority for me. And I think the reason is because deep down, I was confident that there was someone out there for me.
Wow.
So I really, honestly, like, I really felt that. Like, I felt so assured that, you know what, May, right now, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on what's important for me. And then I know for sure that along the way, someone will be there. And I think that mindset kind of worked out for me. And for me, okay, that's my tip. Really, you know what? Just focus on yourself, focus on building yourself. And along the way, like, that positive energy will absolutely attract someone.
I do think there is something to be said that you have to know when you find it. Because I see a lot of people, they'll find someone that's very good and they'll be like, oh, this is mildly inconvenient for me, or I don't want to move on this thing.
That's true.
Or just whatever, for whatever reason. Oh, this isn't perfect for me right now.
Oh, that's true.
And when you choose someone, there is a sacrifice that you have to make
is.
for that person. You have to choose to let that person in. And so I think that's why you dragged your feet. A little bit.
I dragged my feet.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because like I said, at that time when I got here, so we met in March and then we became a couple in August. So at the time, of course, I got here. It's a new country, you know, it's a new job. I wanted to be focused. Like, I'm here to earn money. Because we have different reasons for coming here. For him, it's his dream. Like, he wanted to teach, he wanted to learn Japanese and all that. For me, no, I'm here to earn money. So I wanted to focus on that. So it really took some time. Yeah, it took some time to let him in. But it was, for me, our connection was really undeniable. And it was very easy. It was very easy.
Yeah, but
And so, what were the adjustments since, well, it's a different spectrum that May is Asian and Dennis is Western. So, how did the adjustment and
are you Asian?
yeah. So these are some of your lovely photos during your prenup, and you climbed Mount Fuji. It's amazing. And so, yeah, Dennis, so I'd like to throw that first question to you.
Well,
what were your major adjustments?
I didn't know she was Asian. This is
That's his joke because he says, like, I'm so Western in my ways. So he doesn't think.
No, you're Asian in a few ways.
Yeah.
I mean, at risk of sounding very generalist,
What?
one of the things that's wasn't so much of an adjustment for me. One of the things that was interesting for me was how important extended family is.
Especially our family
in Eastern Coast, and actually not on your side. That wasn't surprising to me, especially you being half Chinese. I have an understanding of Chinese culture and how important extended family is. I mean, you have like 30 words in Mandarin, right? There's like 30 words for extended family, right? Like first uncle, second uncle, third uncle, sixth cousin, uncle, twice removed. All words. I understand that.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a surprise to me. One of the adjustments that was surprising to me is I actually have to care more about my own extended family. That was actually a very big adjustment.
Oh, that's true.
Me.
Yeah, that's true. I remembered because like I would call my mom. I would talk to her like, oh my gosh, maybe 4 times a week.
But yes, I communicate less with my immediate family. But even my extended family is something that I have to care more about. Not have to. I should. It's actually better that I do. But I have to. I have to care more about now. Like I have a great aunt in New York City. I see her maybe once every 3 to 4 years. And she's very dear to me. But I talk to her once every 3 to 4 years because that's how often I see her. Now I give her an annual Christmas present, and I write to her, and I have aunts that I talk to casually. It's now much more important. It's important to May, and therefore it's important to me to on family members.
Yes.
Posts and respond to those and give them mail and presents and think about extended family members that like my third cousin. May knows my third cousin. That means my third cousin is now as important as my uncle.
Yes.
Right. So that one was very hard because that's a lot of work for me.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Because like for most Western parents, it's very nuclear, right? You only care about your immediate family, maybe your aunts and uncles. Maybe, and that's a maybe.
That hurts.
So, yeah, and that's a healthy functioning phase. Some kids don't even talk to their parents.
Yeah,
yeah. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, but that was one that took a lot of adjustment. Just being like, oh my God, my great aunt in New York, my uncle had a seizure and I have to send him flowers or
something like that.
Yeah, or
because like my thinking is like his great aunt is basically like his only living grandma, and you know how with us, Jen, like if you have your ama, your uncle, like you honor them, like you.
Yes.
Well, I honor her.
I understand. No, it's just
She's
very
awesome.
different. No, honey.
Yeah,
I know
great.
it's very different. So like,
she's an amazing woman.
No, I love her. Yeah, like for him, diba, like for Christmas, like for him, it's just mom, dad, sister, brother-in-law. Like that's just like that's it. That's
maybe
it.
Small gifts from my aunts and uncles.
Yeah, but for us, it's like you have to include everybody.
Right.
Everybody. And so like I always tell him like, no, Dennis, like she's your great aunt, like she's basically your grandmother, your only living grandmother. We have to include them in the list now.
Oh, that's sweet. But how about you, May? What did you learn from Dennis, or what areas of adjustment you needed to do?
areas of adjustment, not so much, but what I appreciate about him and his family,
Mhm.
my God, Jenny, they're so open and they're so welcoming. And
Aw, wonderful.
that was so, I don't know, that was so refreshing for me because it's like, yeah, everybody
Right.
come, like, come down, like, if you want to come to our house, yeah, just come. You want to eat, like, it's, I didn't even, Jenny, so like my whole life, right? Like, I'm being in a Filipino Chinese family, like,
Yes.
to, we were trained to deal with a Chinese mother-in-law. And you know how that,
Right.
so I was trained for that. Like, I observed that. So I know how to navigate through that. So, like, but meeting his mom, my goodness, it was so easy.
Wow.
So easy.
Lucky girl.
I, and I feel very, very blessed and I feel very lucky. And it was just so, it was so refreshing for me because it's just like, voila, like instantly I was part of the family. And that's not something that, you know, you get to experience from like an Asian family. So that's
Right. So these are the photos of you with Dennis' family and Dennis with your mom and brother. So, uh, and so as we move forward to your tips in investing for the future. So who would like to take this first question?
I would love to do that.
All
As
right.
if there are some OFWs listening right now, like I would really advise you to please don't make the mistake of not saving for yourself and not investing. And also, it's very important to have an emergency fund. I know a lot of OFWs who don't have any of that. And
Right.
I think being in a position where we are now, we are very fortunate to be earning what we're earning. And if we can, set aside to invest or like just pay yourself, basically just pay yourself and set aside money for yourself. So that's my first tip. And of course, live within your means.
Right.
Just because you're earning more doesn't mean you have to spend more. You know, you don't always have to have the latest things, the latest gadgets. You don't always have to have that or the branded items. Just live within your means and just try to be contented with what you have. And oh, my last one is, and also Dennis, right? This is yours too, is to invest in yourself. Like that's really important.
True.
Invest in yourself. Keep learning if there's a skill you want to hone, like if you're into a certain language, take classes for that. If you're into cooking, take classes for that. Like, just continue to grow and invest in yourself.
But I meant it from more of a financial perspective.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Invest in your own financial interests. First and foremost, you should be the vast majority of your money that you earn should be going to your interests or your immediate family's interests. And this is going to sound a little harsh. I feel that many OFWs are their livelihoods could be better if they didn't support their families as much as they do. And they invest that money into their future. And it sounds very harsh because I'm essentially saying that you should take food out of your own parents' mouths who birthed you and
no way,
to a Filipino's ears. But I think it's very important that you should support your family if you have the means to do it. But you are the one that's earning the money, and you need to invest in your own future, and that will make your progeny, your progeny's future so much better.
Yeah.
And they won't have to support you, and that will be so liberating.
Yeah.
So that would be my tip to specifically OFWs. Don't get caught in the trap of constantly investing in other people. Financially invest in yourself. Financially invest for you and your progeny's future.
Yeah.
And that will make their life and your life so much better.
But like that's what, yeah, I agree.
But it's very hard to tell somebody that.
Right, right.
That because I mean, we can't be heartless, right?
Yeah.
I think that's something that's very important that a lot of Filipinos need to understand.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And I think like that's what Jenny is doing. Like what she's doing is like what you're doing, Jenny, is such a great thing because you're educating. Yeah, you're educating people on how to manage their money properly. And this is one step to break that cycle, really.
Right, that's true.
And I think a lot of the people in our generation are really learning that now. A lot of people are really seeking this information, and and I know like they want a better future for their children. And yeah, this is just one step to that. So yeah.
Right. So we really learned a lot from May and Dennis tonight. So we started out with building independence, on managing expectation, and of course taking the leap, and eventually how they found each other, and their tips on finding love included, being more patient and adjusting to one another, and also learning about the different family culture. And lastly, when May and Dennis discussed about investing for our future, it was very well said by May, indicating that we should live within our means, because I agree. Sometimes we always think that, well, what if I had more so I can buy these things and that thing? If only I could earn more, I could afford more. But then, when we are given what we have to make the most out of it. So that's a very nice tip. And I also would agree to May's tip as well on saving and investing, because it's never too early. Even though we are starting out as a couple or starting out work, we need to set aside something for ourselves. And lastly, Dennis has a very great tip to OFWs, or those who are also overseas or probably within the country as well, that we should also invest in ourselves and not give everything to our family, so that we can also build a better future for ourselves. And that's not being selfish. It's just allocating the right way. Did I get that right, Dennis?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's not selfish to invest in yourself. And don't just think about investing in yourself. You're also investing in your children or your nieces and nephews if you decide not to have children. You're investing in your family's future, so you're still investing in your family. So you don't even have to think of it as selfish.
Yeah, that's true.
So what are your last advice perhaps to our viewers for tonight? If you were to give them a piece of advice that they would never forget, what would that be?
Gosh, a piece of advice I would forget. Okay, I maybe like in terms of financial, in that financial aspect, motivate yourself by having financial goals every year, or even like every month. You could even start small. You could start small. You do like every month that, like this month I want to save this much, or by the end of the year I want to have this X amount. Like just something to motivate you to save up.
And
that's my advice.
What about you, Dennis, before we end the night's episode?
I could give one piece of advice.
About love.
So much about love. Do you want to go?
Oh, sure. About love.
Love in a relationship, the most important thing is not love. The most important thing is appreciation. The more you appreciate everything your partner does, the happier you will be. And always look for things to appreciate, even the small things, like a smile or the way they sing a song when they do the dishes. Or
that is so sweet.
Just appreciate everything your partner does, and you will have a successful relationship. It's not about love. That sounds harsh. Love is what keeps you together, but the way you keep that love around is appreciation. So that would be my advice.
Beautiful.
Wow, I couldn't agree more. And indeed, that was beautiful. So, Dennis and May, on behalf of Bright Parenting, this is our virtual certificate of appreciation.
Wow.
And this is awarded to both of you.
Wow.
Yes, for imparting the valuable insights and brilliant presentation on the topic, 3 ways to make the most of your OFW experience, building independence, finding love, and investing for the future in this Bright Parenting webinar series dated August 27th in Iloilo City, although it's virtually. So thank you so much. And we'd like to, I hope to see you soon when this pandemic is over. We'd fly.
Yeah, please. We'd love to go to Cebu.
Or Iloilo.
Yeah, she lives near.
Or yeah, come visit. It's so near Boracay.
Yeah.
All right. So that wraps up tonight. So thank you so much to our bright parents and our viewers for tuning in.
Guys.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.